Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Today's new poem is a farewell poem. So last poem we talked about traveler's melancholy. This is someone from the traveler's friend's perspective who's seeing them off. And this is the melancholy carried by that friend. 故人西辞黄鹤楼。故人, my old friend. 西辞, farewell, before heading to the west, or from west, we say farewell. 黄鹤楼, Yellow Crane Building, which now, because of this poem, became a famous sign-thing building there. I've never been there. It's a legend. It's in our language, in the poem. 烟花三月下扬州. 烟花三月 described how March would look like in the Yangtze River region. So it's W-shaped, longest river in China. It's one of the two cultural centers and trade centers, right? When we have business like trade happening along the river, and that's when the commerce started more active, and then that's where culture are going to gather around. And then 烟花三月, talking about how the March would look like. 三月. Okay, Chinese number all the calendar months from 1 to 12. We don't have to remember each unique name for each month. January, February, March, like every single month in English, we have to memorize its corresponding months, right? And me as a Chinese speaker, I will just count March as the third month of the calendar year. It's a non-brainer. So when some English speakers don't know, like September is which number of months of the calendar year, it will surprise me. It's like 九月, number ninth month. That's like that's how September is. We remember each month by the sequence of the months, the positioning of the month in the calendar year. So it would surprise me if English speakers couldn't recognize the sequencing of the month number. Anyways, March, the smoky floral. So I guess in March, because of the seasonal transitioning, so it's kind of smoky, the marine layer in the West Coast, something like that. It became like more humid in the air, and some flower blooming in that season. So 烟花三月 defines the March scene, and 下扬州, going down. Yangzhou is another city along the Yangtze River, and 下扬州 probably is traveling down, and probably this is like from somewhere upper stream, go downstream. The boat will go, that's using the downward motion, because it's following down the river, Yangzhou. So here we talk about farewell to the friend, and in March, and I guess 西辞黄鹤楼. 黄鹤楼 is the beginning of the journey, and Yangzhou is the destination of the journey. So we have the whole spatial and temporal sense in there. And the characters, at least two, your 故人, your old pal, and the author, first perspective. Here, the author doesn't mention the author, but they mention the authors through the poet's own observation, then transmit everything, the internal processing of this farewell to us. Okay, 故人, 故, made of a 古 plus this symbol on the right. Three-finger hand symbol hold the fortune-telling 故. This vertical line plus horizontal line, simple two-stroke thing, is the abstraction of Chinese fortune-telling tool. So it's kind of universal, kind of forever human behavior. We try to forecast or predict what's going to happen in the future, right? So hand holding this tool. paired with this ancient concept. Ancient is made of 10 generations. This cross symbol is the Chinese number 10, came with roping technology when you tie a knot, which is marked out by this horizontal line intersecting with the rope, vertical line is the rope. And that means number 10. And we have the mouse symbol that symbolizes one generation. 10 generations, probably ancient lifespan is probably about 200 years, 200 to 250 years. And that to Chinese is considered ancient. So we have this ancient, and then we have the right hand kind of fortune telling. So it's made, both symbols can combine together to make the concept of old. And my understanding is 故人. We have a 故事, okay. 人 is a pal, right? We talk about the old pal, and we have a 故事. We talk about the old story. 事 means event, something happened. Old happening is our story. And then we also have 缘故, talking about the reasoning, the logic, why things happen in this way. So this 故 as the connecting character for all this, either it's your old friend or old happening, or the reasoning of something. It probably serves as the explainer of things, explainer of where you came from. And 10 generations means your ancestors, the people before you. And from their perspective, if you know people who came before you, then you can kind of forecast or fortune tell what you would more likely to behave or what your life scripts would be like. So this 故 as something related to past, used here as an explainer of your current life status. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so that's 故人 is this, okay, it looks like an English letter R, and it actually is a profile view of human. This right curvature side is the back side of the human, and the front straighter is our front side. So that's how Chinese is abstract. And I'm not sure if it's humans, if we see from the side view, its front side is flatter and back side is curvier. Maybe, it's hard to tell, but that's how Chinese simplify how humans from side view will look like. And again, Chinese default forward-looking or going is pointing toward the left. It's the opposite to our contemporary default forward-going, pointing toward the right. Okay, 故人, old pal, your old friend, okay, who grew up with you. Now he supposedly is going to travel. And 西辞, make that farewell before it travels toward the west or from the west going. Considering it talks about 下扬州, if it's downstream, so this is upstream. Upstream in Chinese geography would be on the west side of the land and then going eastward, because west is higher ground and the river will flow west to east. So 西辞 probably is saying farewell at the west end of things, and particularly in that 黄鹤楼, that building, probably that tall building, served as a travel, almost like train station. So in here is the boat station that people start their travel from. Okay, 西 is made of the bird nest hanging on top of a tree. It's super simplification, and Chinese use the birds returning to their net at the end of the day to represent west. West means the sun's position in the west side of the sky. The sun rises up from the east, go down to the west. And when the sun goes down at sunset time, birds returning to their nest. And that temporal connection related to the sun's positioning in the sky make this, we're using indirectly for you to deduce this temporal sense of birds returning to their nest means the sun is positioning in the west side of the sky. So that's our west. 词 farewell. We have three-finger hand symbol reaching from top of the screen and three-finger hand symbol reaching from bottom of the screen. So that means it's your hand, somebody else's hand. And then it's kind of in a narrow space with connected with a horizontal line with this almost like a dumbbell shaping thing. Okay, according to scholars, it's quite a dramatic. It has used a Chinese, not Chinese, contemporary courtroom battle of two hands of divorcing couple fighting over the baby. Okay, so in this narrow space, which is supposed to be court space, the two hands are, both of them are trying to reach the baby. Well, that's a contemporary reading. I'm not sure ancient times of divorcing is actually a thing back then. And this is two hands definitely representing you're all reaching for something. You're competing for something. It's just the middle. If it is baby, it's questionable. Okay. On the right side, it means probably law enforcement in ancient times, because this two horizontal line with convex shape with this vertical line means an ancient corporal punishment tool. And probably the ones underneath it means something that tool stands on or inflicting on somebody's body surface. So the second horizontal line could be the body surface. In any case, this is something to inflict the pain to the sinners, whoever committed a crime. I mean, the sinners not in the sense of Christianity, it's in the sinners in the sense of the lawmakers, right? And this law enforcement next to this fighting over supposedly a baby or something, right? Became farewell, and 死 in originally that actually means you're representing yourself in the best possible worded way. So you're kind of making good speeches. So this rhetoric, the power of rhetoric, was recognized in ancient Chinese. And we use that dramatic moment of the two arguing over something, and in the presence of a law enforcement, to mean you make good public speech. And this eventually narrowed down its application to the particular moment of making a speech when you say goodbye to somebody. Elaborate goodbye, farewell. Okay, yellow, we have number 20. So we talked about number 10, right? It looks like a cross. And we have two of them cross next to each other, connected at the bottom, so that it's one unit, that means 20. And then we have fire symbol, which is the cone shape with two sparkles on the side, and it's overlaying on top of this farm field, which is kind of an oval rectangle or square-ish shape with round radius on the four corners, cut into quarters. That's a Chinese farm field. Farm field, 20 fire. The whole thing is made of three icons like that. It means yellow because farm field, when it looks like 20 fires burning, it doesn't mean the farm field gets on fire. It means the whole farm field looks like the fiery color. When it's harvesting time, things are going to yellow out. And that's seasonal thing used to mean the color yellow. He is a type of bird. So this is a big bird symbol. Actually, on this he, we have both big bird and small bird, two icons in Chinese that symbolize birds. Okay, we have the big bird here with a claw, right? Like you can see the separation of the front and the back end of the claw. That means this bird in powerful claws in there and long drapey feathers with the eye of the bird. Versus smaller birds that got a fluffy hair going horizontally and this small eyes embedded in there, this kind of a diamond shape is the head of the bird, and then streamlined body. There's no big, long, heavy feather. So it's a small bird paired with big bird. But the small bird is going, the beak of the bird here It's going in between something. So that bird is kind of, I guess birds are forever looking for food in nature, right? So here is going through some middle place. And that actually means a type of a water bird. I'm not sure if that horizontal line with two lines here means a kind of entry to water or to a surface. So together, it means a crane. Crane is a big feather bird, but the crane is also a type of water bird that would take their food from water surface. Okay, so together is crane. Building is made of the wood symbol, canopy, root connected by tree trunk. So three strokes in ancient Chinese is our tree symbol, which is the material to make the building. And the Chinese express building by this hollowing sense. And Chinese express hollowing by pairing mother and daughter together. Okay, so mother is a transformed daughter image. So daughter means generic woman, but originally it means unmarried, therefore unmothered, before pre-motherhood girl, which has the behavioral expectation of folded arms and hips, main features of a woman. And then when it became a mother, it will have the two nipples pointing out. That means breastfeeding woman. So mother, daughter. So when mother was pregnant with daughter, and then this, I'm not sure if that means pelvis, means the whole baby carrying chamber on a woman's body. But the whole thing means this process of a woman giving birth, this entry, like a woman, unmarried, unmothered, pre-motherhood woman, carrying a baby when it's hollowed itself out, it becomes a breastfeeding mother. If this life passage of hollowing out themselves, their body, take the baby out thing from this transitioning of motherhood means hollowing out the body. So this childbirth thing process eventually means hollowing. And this hollowing paired with wood means this framework or structure of the ancient times when it considered as a building that is not a solid piece, it's hollowed out, where at the first and second and maybe third floor of the structure in the middle is hollow. Humans can use it, but it's with a framework made of wood that you can use the space in its hollowed framework. Okay, 故人西辞黄鹤楼. So this is the departure location, the boat station, and then this old pal is saying farewell from the west and going down toward the Yangzhou spread land. Okay, since we talked about the destination here, spread is made of the hand symbol, 5-finger hand symbol. In the previous page, we have 3-finger hand symbol. This is a 3-finger hand symbol. 3-finger hand symbol. I think that's it. So Chinese also use 5-finger hand symbol, and the top tip, tipping toward the right side means it's a differentiator because we have a hair symbol looks just like that, and somebody tip to the left is the hair, tip to the right is the hand. 5-finger hand symbol means it's a hand motion. It means particularly spread, spread your hand. And the right side has this the sun symbol rising on top of this horizon. We have the sun, and then the bottom has the wing or the bird's wing spread. Together, it means a spreading. It came from the sun, spreading its light in space, shine over us as if the wing of the bird spreading out. So the wing of the sun, so to speak. So that gives you the sense of the light spreading. And when it paired with the hand, it means the hand motion that's spreading. And yang in Chinese actually don't just mean a small scale hand from a feast to have all fingers spread out. It doesn't mean that actually. It means the whole arm spreading. So you're kind of young. This is the motion. Okay, kind of doing that. I'm not sure even English have the motion of this, like hurling, throwing. But in Chinese, we call it yang, means upward going, upward motion. Use your hand spreading out. Okay, that's yang. Zhou is made of these streams, three repeated icons. Here, this encasing of that is supposed to symbolize island. So there are three islands next to each other in that water body. And eventually, this island means land. In a sense, every land on the planet Earth is an island, right? Even what we call is a continent is a giant island floating on top of much bigger water body that surround this piece of land. So Chinese already foresee that and define the land as islands. Okay. 烟花, yan. Okay, if you recognize here is the west symbol, the bird, gnat, honey on the tree, made of soil. So it talks about the stove. Ancient times stove is made of, not gas stove, though. It's the clay, probably made of brick or clay stove. So we have the soil symbol here, two horizontal lines, vertical line. So ground, something growing under the ground, in the ground, and then the second horizontal line means the surrounding of the growing thing, which is the soil. So we have something made of soil, and when the West is associated with sunset, it's also associated with cooking time. That's when the family stove are going to started heated and dinner's being prepared, and the smoke is going to come out of it. And smoke also involves the fire. So we have this cone shape with two sparkles on the side. That's a fire symbol. We have fire, we have soil, we have bird nest hanging on top of the tree. And together, it gives you the timing, which is sunset time. And the thing is for kitchen, right? And it's related to the smoke come from the fire. So when the kitchen is at work, we are expecting to see the smoke coming out of the kitchen. So this is smoke. Hua, we have two trident next to each other. That's cluster of plants. So whenever you see this, that means plant symbol. Then we have double layer of petals of the flower. So this shape is our flower petal thing. And then we have this horizontal line with this shape. Okay, it's pollen pole. We have this zoom in picture of the particular plant part, which is the flower, which is next to the pollen pole with layers of petals. And then we have the bottom, the second horizontal line, which is longer, and this puff of air. So when you see this puff of air going up, supposedly, this horizontal line means the sky. So Chinese have this sense of speaking, letting the air come from our lungs, going out. So we are voicing out our opinion and let the whole world hear. And this one horizontal line gives you the sense of that's the air are going upward to heaven, supposedly. And that symbol is the language, simplified version of language. Okay, the whole thing express the flower, the plant of the flower and language. So together, flower is the plant's language. It's when the plants are speaking and telling the world it's ready to be pollinized. That's the reproductive organ for the plant, right? So just like humans, in a certain age, we're going to behave in a certain way so that we can be pollinized, we can spread our seed, something like that. So this flower is how Chinese draw out the whole concept and the function of the flower. Set 1, 2, 3 horizontal lines. Number 3, Number 3, the third month of the calendar year is March. Okay, 月 is our moon shape. This is a crescent moon, and even if it's a reflective light, we put a horizontal line to mean there's light source coming out of there. So lighted crescent shape is our moon. And we use the moon to mean month. Actually, I'm not sure, like a month is skipping one O in there. And month in English probably came from the moon as well, because that's an easy mapping of how the whole solar system working, of this year thing and the month thing and the day thing, right? All that celestial rotation mark how humans, earthlings, mark our time. And so month simply is the moon motion. Okay, the third month, 下, we have horizontal line is the benchmark. Vertical line is below that benchmark. So that in itself already means down below it. And then this sideways going means it's going downward. So you can use it both in the sense of something is positioned below something else, the benchmark, or something is going downward. It's downward going. So 烟花三月下扬州 talks about in this particularly smoky and flower blooming March season, this old pal is going down the river from the 黄鹤楼, this yellow crane building, boat station going down toward Yangzhou. This is spread land, is a destination over there. So that sets the mood. And I'm trying to capture this flowering, smoky March season near a water body. And that sets the tone. So let's find out what he's going to say the next stanza tomorrow. Thank you for your time. See you next time.